So we get done our AMA, and then after, I'm talking with AJ just off camera, and I'm like, "So how much you got in this sucker?" Well, he doesn't want to fully disclose, but I actually started like giving off numbers. He has over $500,000 in this sucker. Like, and he's like, that's not even accurate, like lowballing. So this just took the AMA to a whole nother level, because I'm like, AJ's smarter than I am. Why would he throw this kind of capital into this new layer one blockchain? Why do we need a new layer one blockchain? That was the main purpose of my conversation with him, because I had been seeing people talk about layer 1x, and I'm just skeptical. I'm skeptical like you. So after that, I ended up putting some of my own risk capital in. You don't have to, not financial advice, but you guys know that this month I've been looking for real world companies to throw money in as part of my March Madness. So I've got these bot plays that I'm going in. I'll add Aviate here. I just did an interview with them. I got these gamble plays. We're 1 for 2. And then I've got this real world company, Layer 1X, that I'm going into. And it's all because of, bam, this guy, AJ Brockman. He's the founder of EMP, and he's just an honest, good guy, and he's smart. And so I don't know. Am I stupid for going in on this? You guys tell me, but at least watch the interview, because I bring all my skepticism in on this interview and all the questions. It's the interoperability of this blockchain to move amongst all the other blockchains. They have their wallet that they're coming out with. I went in as a long-term, here's my money, good luck. I'm acting like a venture capitalist, sending money to a real world company, and hopefully they build a company with this capital that I sent them. Along with, they're raising right now $10 million. It's freaking crazy. They have over 6.5 million already raised. It ends the end of this month. So in the end of this interview, you decide what you want to do with your own hard earning capital. My job on this channel is just document what I'm doing and give you information, let you know opportunities out there. This is one that has my attention. I'm really excited about it. And so without further ado, here is my AMA with my good friend, the trustworthy, the smart, the decent, the handsome, AJ Brockman.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
The Fud Farm.
All right, guys, as you know, one of my favorite people, AJ Brockman. Welcome back to the channel.
Thanks, Jonathan. Happy to be here, brother.
Yeah, it's interesting because every time you've come on the channel, we're talking all things EMP and all the new, additions that you have to the whole ecosystem. But today we're talking about a brand new blockchain. So if you're new to crypto, like there's all these blockchains that kind of run parallel with one another. You've got like the ERC20 blockchain. You've got the Binance Smart Chain blockchain, and then you've got Arbitrum, which is a new popular blockchain that just came up. You got all these blockchains. So let's get right to it. This is the big question on everybody's brain, AJ. I don't know if you knew this or not, but people that watch my channel, they just want to make money, bro. They just want to make a ton of cash as fast as they can. And so help everybody through the context of like, how can I actually make money off of a new blockchain launching? Because they don't care about the tech, they care about the money. And you obviously get introduced to a million different things. So why did Layer 1X get your attention? What's going on with this thing, and why should it get our attention?
Absolutely, brother. So this might be a little bit of a longer AMA today, but let's do what they call a leader, right? So everybody wants to know how to make money. Typically, based on historical data, every person that got into the launch of a blockchain has done an average of a 42x
Wow.
from the launch price. So the upside potential is amazing. Again, none of this is going to be financial advice, but that gets me excited. And then along with the tech that L1X is bringing, it's even more exciting. So stay tuned if you want to learn more about what that means. But yeah, man, it could be massive. And really, again, just to make another comparison, that 42x is an average. But if you take Ethereum, for example, their ICO price was about 35 cents. So that's a 15,000 gain to all-time highs. So again, the upside potential is huge, and we wanted to bring this opportunity to all of you through our connections and our community to get into L1X literally at a pre-sale price. So yeah, man, and we're really integrating with them majorly. Again, we're not abandoning EMP. If anything, this is going to make EMP even more powerful, which we can talk about. And we've been awarded the contract to develop the launch decks for L1X, and that's how this all ties into EMP and potentially an amazing revenue stream for all of us.
Okay, so say that last part again. Like, what makes you, or what is the connection between you and this brand new blockchain? Like, because you're not the developer of the blockchain, right?
Correct. So yes, so we again, it's not what you know, it's who you know usually in the business world. And so we have been able to develop some amazing relationships over the last year and a half at EMP. And I've been in crypto for 7.5 years now. So I've seen a lot of opportunities come across my desk. And this one was truly revolutionary. So what L1X is offering and claiming, which we'll get into this a little later as well, is that they've actually proved it. They are the first interoperable layer one chain. And so, what does interoperable mean? That's a big fancy word. Well, that essentially means that you can interact with any blockchain, BNB, all the Ethereum virtual machines, ETH mainnet, BNB, Matic, AVAX, all of
Avalanche.
those. Avalanche, yes, and even non-EVM chains. So, for instance, Solana. Solana is Rust-based. So that is something that has never been done before, and you can actually transfer tokens, native assets from chain to chain without a bridge. And so
Wow.
this is incredible
So if
because
I have like, let's say I've got 5 Ethereum on in Binance, okay? So it's on the BEP20 network. What I can send that to my ETH wallet, like no problem. It does the exchange, does the I don't have to. I usually go to like changenow.io and I have
exactly.
to wait and do all. You're saying I don't have to do that anymore?
Correct. It's done natively with the chain. So again, bridging is slow, expensive, and it's a security risk. I mean,
Oh yeah.
bridging last year alone, $2 billion was exploited through bridges. So it's really important that we take control of our crypto, and L1X is doing that. They with their proprietary code base, they've developed their own virtual machine. So it's not an Ethereum virtual machine. It's new tech that's been built from the ground up to be able to deliver on this claim of, again, switching from chain to chain without having to use a bridge. And in your example, Jonathan, if you have Ethereum on Binance, that is essentially backed by Binance. So you're hoping that Binance has that Ethereum in reserves to
Right.
honor your token. Well, now you can have actually native Ethereum on other chains. So you again have a lot less third-party risk, having to trust that those reserves are there when it's the actual token that you have on every chain.
Right. And the crazy thing too is like anytime you've done a bridge before, you moving a coin from one layer one to another, there is a trust involved. Like I had to trust this company called changenow.io. And I remember one time doing it and they were like, I was like, where is my money? And because it had been hours and they're like, hey, we're having an issue right now. And I was just like, I hate crypto because of that. It's like I'm relying on
Totally.
people all the time and I had to use a third party and it just adds to the risk. So this is very interesting. I didn't know this. So you sent me a slide deck and I think it might be helpful. A lot of us are just kind of visual. So let's walk through it. The claim
Absolutely.
is that this is the world's fastest interoperable blockchain. What's Layer 1X? Layer 1X is a decentralized blockchain providing unrivaled interoperability, scalability, speed, security. Layer 1X was developed to be a truly decentralized, permissionless, secure blockchain, enabling micro validation and tokenization. What's that mean?
Yeah, so again, I know there's a lot of You know,
It's so fancy, AJ.
it
I'm
is,
ready to
right?
just spend all my money on this
I
because
know.
every fancy word you put in a deck gets you $1,000 from me. That's all I can say.
All right, perfect. Then we're good to go, bro. Yeah. So again, I know this is very, you know, sales pitch, lingo. So let's break it all down. So there's really three major things with any blockchain, and that is scalability, security, and speed. And so, now that with L1X, they've had this interoperability aspect as well. So, what that means is, again, there you go. This helps kind of break it down for you, Jonathan.
Yep.
So,
One, two, three, four,
yep,
five. These are the things
yep,
people are looking for on a blockchain.
totally. So again, it to back up a little bit more, this is not a copy and paste. I've been a big, a whistleblower on, even in our own community. We don't need any more blockchains. Like, you know, Arbitrum is a great example. It's been killing it lately, and there's always opportunity, you know, for new chains, but they're really not doing anything different. It's just
Really?
chain that everybody's hyped over. So with L1X, this is fundamentally changing the future of crypto through interoperability, and those
Hmm.
are big, big claims. But uh, has a test net that is up and running as we speak. So I know, Jonathan, you're probably familiar with Pulse Chain, and we would love to see Pulse Chain come to life. But they did it a little bit backwards, where Richard Hart raised a ton of money, and then they started developing the chain. Well,
Right.
L1X has been developing this for 2.5 years through the University of Western Australia, which is an amazing global university. The same foundation that set up the Ethereum Foundation also set up the L1X Foundation. Prism Group, which did the tokenomics for ETH and Matic and all the big chains, Polkadot, they did that token economics for L1X. So these guys are the real deal, and they're really, you know, I wouldn't put my reputation on the line if I really didn't believe in what they were doing. And we've been working with them for over 6 months now. One of our major community members, who was part of our EMP army, he actually took a position and is now the CMO of L1X, and so that's how we originally gotten introduced to this.
Huh.
And I've been doing all my due diligence over that time, and I signed a non-disclosure agreement to actually be able to see the code, and everything is looking like absolutely legit because I get that it's a big claim, and I think that scares people a
Right.
little, but they are delivering on what they're saying. So the scalability is huge. They can do up to 100,000 transactions per second. That's on par with any of the major chains that claim they're the fastest. They're offering a 1 cent, maximum 1 cent transaction fee, so it's extremely cheap as well, which solves another issue. You know, even today, nobody is going to go buy a coffee with Bitcoin or Ethereum because it takes forever and the fees are insane. So now with a maximum of one cent fee, you can buy a cup of coffee or an envelope, you know? And so that really is major for adoption as well.
Would I be
And
able to buy that cup of coffee, let's say, with Bitcoin on the L1X network?
so that's a really good question. So, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but the short answer is no, because you still have to pay the validation
Yeah.
cost on Bitcoins. So,
Right.
but
Or
there are,
you'd
yeah,
have to pay it to the Ethereum, whatever the
exactly.
fees are.
Yep, but
So
there is a way through L1X that we'll talk about that allows you to you know, transact getting around those validation fees. It's simply just 2 or 3 lines of code that you have to change in your smart contract to be able to accept all that. And interoperability, we didn't even get to this yet. Not only is it through tokens, but uh, logic is also interoperable, which
here,
is insane.
here's the
So
thing,
yeah,
AJ. You're I don't want to lose our viewer because you're spilling a
yes,
lot of
totally.
good
We're
stuff.
getting the
Like
weeds. Yeah,
like think of every mon pa shop, or even if there's one chain that eventually accepts, like it I can just see how it's going to happen. Like right now, you got massive fear with bank runs, right? So people are fleeing, even fleeing some stable coins because stablecoin doesn't have regulation yet. So they're hedging their bet by buying gold and Bitcoin, okay? Precious metals, Bitcoin, because they're like, well, there's limited supply of all these things. So that's good. We'll let the Fed keep printing money, reducing our purchasing power. Okay. So then the US will probably be forced become more popular and incentivized to create some actual regulation. Then, if you get regulation around some stable coins, now you allow business owners, think about this, guys, business owners to start accepting crypto. Now the business owner goes, I can't accept just Bitcoin because it takes 5 minutes in line for them to buy their dumb copy. So they're going to look for solutions. Then you've got this product called Layer 1X, right? Which says, oh yeah, it's just a penny each transaction. It's the fastest. And if there's a way, and you're about to show us where you can transact and I can actually buy a cup of coffee, and the business owner knows that when I spend my $5 USDT on this chain, that it's as good as gold. He can eventually translate it into fiat with his bank. That now I start to see like, okay, crypto has some viability there. It can actually has some utility. Right now, there's no utility. I buy pizza every day for dinner, AJ. Pizza or a burger, something like that, right? Every day I have to buy freaking fiat with it. Like that's the only thing they accept is that cold hard American cash. That's what they want, or my debit card, credit card. I just want, because I've got all these wallets, I would love to pay for a pizza one day with just my freaking MetaMask or some like on one of these blockchains. Because like it would just be the best. Like that's what people want to do. And we need solutions. Like we need compelling reasons for business owners to accept crypto payments, you know? And I hope that like Layer 1X is
Totally.
providing that solution.
Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. I couldn't have said it better, man. And again, I know I tend to get a little technical. I'm one of the weirdos that is in it for the tech and the gains. So I get kind of geeked out on this. But yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, and I think L1X has the best position to actually deliver on that. And again, I've been in crypto for forever now, and nobody has been able to solve that dilemma where you can actually use crypto in the real world. So
Yeah.
and they have they've already started partnering with payment processors. One of them is called Wide, WYDE. They are already building on L1X, the infrastructure that's going to take. And to your point, because of the interoperability, the merchant can accept, or trade into any token that they would
Right.
want. So,
Right.
it's also not gate kept in that way either. So we love L1X. We think it's truly revolutionary, and so we partnered up with another protocol called Dex Finance, and they have been one of the most successful tomb forks, along with EMP. They're actually pegged to USDC, which again, it's actually USDEX, which is their own stable token. And they have ever never lost peg. I think they lost peg for like 2 hours. Their whole protocol existence. So we were going to develop a DEX for L1X together on our own, and we presented this to L1X, and L1X was so blown away by our presentation and proposal that they awarded us the launch DEX contract. So just like PancakeSwap is to the BNB chain or Trader Joe to AVAX or even Uniswap to Ethereum, the launch DEX is where all the major initial liquidity is seeded and all the volume goes through that DEX. So this is really bullish for us as a protocol because part of those fees will then go towards EMP and the users of the DEX. So we're not going to have a secondary token like Cake for Pancake Swap. The actual DEX token will be L1X. And so you can potentially stake your L1X to get a portion of the fees from this exchange. And what makes this exchange so amazing is that, again, because of this interoperability, you'll be able to swap any token on any chain through this one DEX. So it bridges the gap between centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges where you still own your token. So our exchange will function on the front end a lot like a centralized exchange. You know, you get set limit orders, stop losses, a bunch of different awesome tools, but you still own your keys and your crypto. So again, we're hoping that through this DEX, we're also able to actually further adoption on all the chains. And really, you could have the most badass blockchain on the planet, but if nobody is building on it, then it
Right.
really doesn't matter. And
Yeah, you
so,
have to create
yeah,
utility on it.
absolutely. And L1X has solved that as well because literally you can update about 2 or 3 lines of code in any of your smart contracts, and then you're able to accept and be interoperable with every other chain through L1X. So every developer on the planet is going to update their code to have access to all that capital because again, L1X is launching on launch day will be interoperable with the top 8 chains, which represent 80% of all the TVL in crypto. So
Right.
you, as a developer, you no longer have to decide what chain to build on. You know, based on fees or community, you build on L1X or update the code to be interoperable with L1X, and now you have access to all the chains. So that is going to further that alone will
So
further adoption.
so
Yeah.
let's break this down. So like one day in the near future, I'm going to add layer 1x to my MetaMask, right? Like you know how you do
Yes,
that?
the
You add all the
RPC.
chains at the
Yep.
top.
And
Uh,
that will be the last RPC change you will ever have to do. Yep. Because that
yeah,
you'll never have
because
to
it gives you
change.
access to all of them. Okay. Man, this
Totally.
is why hasn't anyone else done this then?
Because it's groundbreaking tech, man.
Well, if it's
Uh,
groundbreaking tech, like why haven't we heard about it at the blockchain summit, at the conferences? The like, you would think this would be a bigger deal.
100%. So it was really important for L1X to focus on getting the tech right to begin with. And again, I'm not part of the L1X team. We work hand in hand with them, but they wanted to just they're developers and they're builders, and so they wanted to really make sure that this code was able to deliver on everything that they wanted it to. And now they're going to market with it. So we're offering a pre-sale through EMP that is literally the seed round. And the reason they're doing this, they've had appetite for, they've had VCs offer them all $10 million of their seed round right off the bat. Well, we've seen how that can be a problem with other chains. A great example is Phantom. Phantom was literally funded by about 5 VCs. And so that makes a ton of tokens in the hands of a very few amount of people. So the idea is that you want to spread out your token holders and user base through not really going, gung ho on the marketing and really having a grassroots effort to spread out holders over as many people as possible. And that's why they partnered with us, and we're going through all these AMAs. We've done about 15 AMAs over the last month, and they're doing that on purpose, because they want to again
Have you
have
gotten
L1X.
have you gotten into like what's his name? BitBoy, crypto,
So yeah, that
Tinko, like I would just think that like you get into their world and you start watching them use the chain, like sending money from Phantom to Avalanche, because Avalanche and Phantom are not interoperable, correct?
exactly.
Right. So
Yes.
you've got this very unique characteristic, plus the speed, plus the security, all you got it all in L1X, right? So like where is the marketing money coming from this team in Australia? Or like how big of team is this, by the way?
Yeah, totally. So you can go to their website, the
Let's do
L1X
that. Let's
Foundation.
go to their
Yeah,
website.
and you can see they're all docs. They have a pretty good team so far. Again, I can't stress how
What's the website?
early. Yep, it's the L1X dot foundation, I think. Try that. You can get to it through our pre-sale as well. Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Okay,
So
and the
yeah,
team
and
is
if you go
fully
to
done.
team,
It's
yep.
KYC, right? This isn't no little crappy DeFi projects
No,
gonna
this is a whole different realm. Yeah, when you're launching an actual chain, you again, I can count on one hand
yeah.
the amount of opportunities I've had to be this early on such a big project.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah,
this is great. So like, okay, go back to my question. Why isn't BitBoy Crypto covering this? Why
yeah,
is
so
or
yeah,
maybe
the
they are.
short
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't follow this
there's
guy.
yeah, the short answer, there's a few answers to this. So the number one answer is that, we are just this early. Again, I mean, I think that once the word gets out, and L1X has been really strategic with this too, because you don't want to, I mean, they're literally in their seed round or pre-sale round, so you don't want to blow that up and get everybody in at the lowest price possible. You want to scale into your marketing. So they have made that choice to really do a grassroots effort in the raise, get as much L1X in as many people's hands as possible, and then I think the true, wave of BitBoy and the large marketing will come. I mean, obviously they have a massive budget now to do it. They've already raised about $6.5 million dollars in the pre-sale, and really, again, it's about really positioning themselves. And a lot of other chains have claimed to be interoperable. Polkadot is a great example with their parachains. But I think that we get numb to all the claims in crypto,
Yeah,
and people
yeah.
want to see they want to see results.
Right.
So that is what L1X
I
is
just want to be able
doing.
to use it.
Yeah,
Like, how is this for you, AJ,
exactly.
when this launches? When, by the way, when will this launch? Like, when will I have it in my drop down MetaMask here?
Yep. So hopefully they're hoping to launch by August. So again, only a few more months away
Okay.
this summer. They are ahead of schedule in terms of development, but they want to make sure that when people are back from vacation and in front of their computers this summer for a successful launch. So and again, we'll talk about our own pre-sale at the end here, how you can get involved. But yeah, I mean, again, just to reiterate. The marketing is coming. It's just this is so early.
Yeah. So I see the team here, you know. They they're trying to, it looks like, grow the team as well.
Yep.
Join the team here, so that's good. So they've raised $6 million so far. Curious why they didn't just go to like Silicon Valley and get some VC if they had something real special here. I heard your explanation about that.
Yeah, and again, Phantom is a great example because they
Yeah.
did, and now we saw a ton of volatility of people dumping on launch. I mean, the vesting schedule is one thing, but the having VCs is never good idea in terms of longevity because VCs are in the game to make money. They
Yeah.
don't want to stick around and use the chain. I mean, L1X is prioritizing users.
Well, yeah, and
So yeah,
to me a good marketing play too, because if you get people to buy into your coin, chances are they'll use the service and then they'll talk about it because now there's incentive. So rather than like a small handful of VCs trying to spend money on marketing,
totally.
so
And they've had
6.5.
offers. They've had offers for people to buy the whole
Okay.
round, but they've chosen not to do that, and it's a security thing as well. The more coins in the smaller amount of hands, that adds a centralization to the chain. So again, their ethos is decentralization, and you can do that by having again the token spread out, and they'll have validator nodes. They have a really unique way of doing this. So because it's their own virtual machine, they are also it's still proof of stake, but it's a hybrid model where you're actually able to run a validator node just by having the L1X wallet or interacting with the chain itself. So this means literally any smart device could be a potential validator for the network. So again, not to get too much in the weeds, but this is massive in terms of security because there could potentially be, millions, if not billions, of validator nodes when you consider smartphones, smartwatches, smart TVs, even your smart fridge. Really, anything that's connected to the internet could be a validator. So, and they'll have full nodes as well. They haven't released that info yet, but you'll have to stake, a certain amount of L1X to operate a full node as well.
It's important to note Layer 1X isn't a cryptocurrency exchange or NFT marketplace, nor is it a federated database. It's the foundational underlying Layer 1 blockchain technology that allows businesses of any kind to build a decentralized network, execute smart contracts, and build interoperable dApps. And this right here is the interesting, unique thing about L1X, right?
Totally.
So as a as a shop owner, I don't have to put in my sign except BUSD on BEP20, except
Exactly.
on I can just be like, everyone will just be using hopefully like an L1X, and then they can send whatever coins they want through this layer 1.
Totally. Yep. And our DEX or our exchange that we're working on even adds another layer to that. So imagine if you're a shop owner and you're accepting tokens, but you don't need the cash flow, at that particular moment.
Yeah.
We're gonna have it set up to where, you can actually get involved in our exchange by providing liquidity and earn on that money that you've taken. So now we really are acting, L1X as an overall infrastructure is acting as a new monetary system,
Like, yeah, it's
which
like
is
acting
very,
as the bank
very
where you're
timely.
providing interest, and
Exactly.
then
Very
you're
timely. Yeah.
loaning that money out. But man, now we're gonna get into some crazy. I don't want to be a part of that early days.
Yes. No
But
doubt,
there's
man.
because there has to be regulation around this. That to me is a long time coming. Uh, when you have that kind of TVL coming in to provide, like if McDonald's, let's say, were to accept crypto payments on the L1X network because it's fast, so it's not holding up their drive-through, and it's not confusing as to like how to do it, what blockchain, I have to
For
download
sure.
this one. It's like, no, you just download this one. Wherever your crypto's at, you can use L1X and pay with whatever coins you have on all of your L1 platforms, layer ones.
Totally. And again, it will be backwards compatible with MetaMask. So if you're comfortable with MetaMask, you can use it. But because of this interoperability, the interface on MetaMask, you can't even see native assets because it's only meant for one chain at a time. So
Right.
L1X is launching their own wallet
Yeah, I was gonna
as
say it
well.
makes sense that they
Yeah,
just have their
yeah.
own wallet. Put them up.
Exactly. And that will help again with your point, Jonathan, of, the normies getting involved. The
Yeah.
L1X app, it'll be an app on your phone basically that allows you to do all this seamlessly.
Yeah, and like a company like McDonald's, I don't know why I'm hungry right now. I think that's why. Uh,
Yeah,
is you just inside the McDonald's app, it'll say pay with crypto, and then it'll have like a powered by layer 1. You click layer 1, go to App Store, it downloads the wallet. Once you download the wallet, it's got a tutorial on like, hey, here's how to save your private keys. Here's how to buy a crypto. Here's, you know, I could see that, like, again, you don't have to start at McDonald's, start at like a mom and pop shop, and eventually one of these is going to take off. And I can't imagine getting into pre-sale of Ethereum. Not saying that this is going to be Ethereum, because Ethereum has a bunch of dApps and engineers that are building on that railroad. Okay. So layer 1X has a huge mountain to climb to ever compete with Ethereum. But if they have something that these others just don't have, they either get acquired, they, get what by the way, what would happen if they were to sell to us shareholders?
Yeah, so again, I really can't comment on that because I'm
Okay.
not part of the O1X team. But you used a really interesting word there, Jonathan, and I did this too. We had an AMA with Machu, who is their CMO now. He's the one that's been a very integral part of the EMP community, and that word was competition. And I said this in one of our AMAs. I said, L1X is going to be the blockchain to rule them all, in reference to Lord of the Rings, obviously. But yeah, but I was wrong, and Manchu said, actually, AJ, L1X is going to be the blockchain that will unite them
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
And
unite
I
them.
thought, man, that was such an aha moment to me. And to your point about market share, because of this interoperability, we have a real shot of getting the volume and the market share of all of these chains because it's going to be a better option.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, it's faster,
I don't have to go
and
to changenow.io and all these
exactly,
bridging coins. It's all just done in my little Layer 1X wallet, which will be in my
totally.
Chrome extensions right next to MetaMask. Eventually, I won't even use MetaMask because it'll look like old technology.
Yes, this is all brand new tech in every way possible. And again, just to further that point, basically the development side, again about Ethereum having the most developers, the most support. Well, it doesn't even really come to that because you tap into all of those projects and developers by having again just updating your smart contracts with one or two lines of code. And then also the logic, I meant to say this earlier, the logic is interoperable. So wrap your head around this for a second. Imagine being able to interact with a smart contract on multiple chains where the smart contracts can actually talk to each other through L1X. So, say you have a great example is us. We have our power up NFTs on Ethereum, and obviously the ETH fees eat into the profit. Well, imagine us being able to update the code to reward users on on L1X or on BNB or any chain of their choosing
Yeah, that's
that they want. That is totally game changing.
yeah.
That's
I
never
like
been
that.
done before.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. It doesn't sound like a lot of fluff to me. So if people want to speculate on this and throw some capital, let's talk about what you got. What's the good offer you're going to bring our Fud Farm community here today? Because
Totally, brother.
you probably already have a bag prior to all of us.
Yeah,
But I want the next best thing. So
yeah,
let's look at, you had a couple slides. We'll talk about it. Guys, by the way, I always throw this in every video. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Some dumb guy on YouTube. Please do your own research and do not follow me blindly. I have risk capital to use and I throw money at dumb DeFi games, some DeFi projects, and some actually real world companies. And I would throw this as a real world company. Fully doxed, fully KYC. They're on path to raise over $10 million. That's very hard to do if you're just some fake DApp. It's not. There's real tech here, and AJ wouldn't put his name behind it. And AJ's a smarter guy than me to look into this. AJ's
that's
not after.
debatable.
He's not.
Debatable, Jonathan.
Yeah, but you're not after a quick buck. You're a multimillionaire. You're not here to throw your reputation in the dump. So I just want to
For sure.
speculate with you, and maybe some of the viewers want to too. So what is their next step? They've sat through this long AMA, and now they want to know, what do I do? I don't want to miss this.
Absolutely. So again, we have because of our relationship with L1X, we are actually offering a pre-sale that is running concurrently with their own pre-sale.
Right.
So side by side, but the big difference with us is that you do not have to KYC. So if you go through L1X, and you want to use either dirty fiat or you want to KYC, then you can go through the L1X site itself, right there, exactly.
Right.
But if you want to use crypto or not have to KYC, you want to go to our pre-sale page. So why don't you pull that up as well, Jonathan? It's going to be l1xpresale.com, or yeah, you can click on that slide too. But yep, l1xpresale.com.
Boom.
And so this is what we are offering. So we've already raised $1.2 million through this actual pre-sale alongside with them. So L1X has guaranteed us all the tokens up to 5 million. Again, that we may have to end the pre-sale early if we get to that because there's only $10 million worth of tokens available to begin with. But if you're contributing through the site, you're guaranteed the token allocation. And then we have a trust account that EMP operates under, and we will KYC for
Nice.
on behalf again of everybody, and then we distribute the tokens back to all the contributors and through a decentralized smart contract when the chain goes live. So
Okay.
you're getting in at a 10-cent price, which is the pre-sale price, and that is the price that I got into.
Really?
Everybody that is getting this opportunity is literally a seed round
Yeah,
investor.
that
The,
surprises me, AJ, that you got in at this price. I thought you'd get in at a lot cheaper.
Yeah, no, man, this is as cheap as it gets. And so there was only a founder round that was at an 8 cent price. So
Wow,
and
that's
that
not
was
even a
only
big
no,
deal.
totally. And that was literally the founders of this project. So, and again, it's a testament to what they're trying to do here by getting the token into as many people's hands as possible.
Okay, so
So,
what does this mean? Linearly vested over 15 months. Does that mean
yes,
if I put my money in, I can't touch it for 15 months?
this is the big caveat. So, yes, anybody getting involved, please pay attention. Literally vested over 15 months means that you will only start getting your tokens back when the chain launches. And so, again, let's say it launches in August.
August.
Yep, that means starting on day one, August 1st, you will get 1/15th of your investment every month for 15 months.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
yeah, if you invested 1,500 bucks, you get $100 worth of L1X every month for 15 months. And this is bullish because now there's not a ton of tokens
Yeah, it won't
on the
be all
market.
dumped. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not a dump on launch. If anything, if you missed out on the pre-sale, then the only way to get involved in L1X is to buy it. So that is a good sign of the price actually going up. And if the launch price is at 50 cents, which is already a 5x, um, and if L1X were to get to just $1.50 within that first month, you would be able to make 100% ROI in the first month by selling those tokens. So again, we don't suggest selling. Again, if you can make the comparison to Ethereum, that's like selling ETH at $1.
Yeah, you're
Or
just
yeah,
everybody
but
gets it. You're kind of like you're acting as the venture capitalist. You're investing into a real business that solves real solutions.
exactly,
And if you want to dump, that's fine, but you might not be the last one laughing when this thing is actually taking off. And by the way, I like that idea that they're not, if I put 1,500 bucks in this, they don't give me 1,500 bucks on day one, and then I see it launch at 50 cents, and then everybody's just incentivized to dump.
totally,
I don't think that would be a good idea. So you're in this thing. If you get in it, you're in this for at least 15 months after it launches. So it may even be longer, guys, because we're doing this video in March. So you got April, May, June, July, August. That's 5 months plus 15, 20 months. So it's like a 2-year investment. Think of this as throw the money in and forget about it. And hope that the team actually executes. They actually have a ton of money to do some really good things. I'm sure they have enough money to go get on BitBoy Crypto's channel. I don't think he does sponsorship stuff right now, but because he got in trouble with like FTX and all that.
yeah, totally. I
But
think he's getting sued as we speak, but
yeah,
yeah, no doubt.
none of that will go anywhere, by the way. It's all just noise, lawyers wanting to get attention on their name using other people's platforms because obviously they had no idea what was happening with FTX. Neither did Steph Curry, Tom Brady, Kevin O'Leary. They'd all have to be sued, right? Anyone that's ever endorsed anything via commercial, a YouTube, whatever, everyone would now be open to being sued. If you recommended a real estate agent and they sold you a house and the house had ants in it, whatever, and then you could sue the person that recommended that real estate. The trickle down effect would be crazy. It's never going to happen. Anyways, but they do have
Totally.
money. They have money that they can throw toward marketing. I just want to know, like, who's going to build these decentralized apps on their platform? Who are those movers and shakers? Because when PlayStation 5 or Microsoft Xbox creates their platforms, look what Facebook's doing with their Oculus. They really need engineers, developers to be incentivized to build on their platforms. The reason people like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a huge hit and why they're willing to spend millions and millions of dollars over the course of years is they know that there's going to be an audience that still plays on PlayStation. That's the platform. So they're going to create a game for PlayStation 5 because PlayStation 5 has proven that they can hang on to users for years after years after years. There's millions of people that play on these consoles. That's what this layer 1X has to do. And I don't know their team. I don't know how good they are at marketing. I don't know if they can get the right apps built on it. What is your greatest fear for this going into this, AJ? Because you probably have a lot of money invested in this,
Yeah, totally, brother. So real quick, I want to comment on something that might help people kind of think about this in a different way. So your video game analogy is perfect. Imagine having a console called the L1X that is able to play PlayStation and Xbox
Yeah.
and NES
Nintendo,
games,
Oculus.
all of them, bro. That is what we're doing with L1X, and I think it's kind of hard for people to wrap their head around it, especially if you're fairly new to crypto. But one thing that just published, and again, please join the L1X Discord, their Twitter. Ask all these questions. Don't take my word for it. Do your own due diligence. But what they just published on March 3rd of this year, they were the first. They set crypto history here, and they were the first uh, protocol to do an EVM to non-EVM transfer. And so again, this has never been done. What this means, EVM stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine, and that is what, again, 90% of blockchains are built around. But Solana is non-EVM or Rust-based. So what they were able to do is do a transfer from non-EVM to EVM, which again opens up amazing doors for what the future holds. And so they're commemorating this milestone with an NFT series. So if you already contributed to the presale, you get an NFT airdrop to you. But if you would like to be involved in this moving forward, it's a $1,000 minimum, which essentially allows you to get access to not only this NFT but the premium wallet as well. When L1X launches, you'll be the first to use their wallet. So I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. There is no minimum, or there is a small minimum on the presale itself of only $100. So again, to Jonathan's point, you don't have to break the bank getting involved. Even if you threw $100 at it and forgot about it, you may be really pleasantly surprised down the road when they actually deliver on all of this. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, obviously there's risk. My biggest fear with L1X is that they're not going to be prepared to scale with all how popular this could actually be. I think when people finally catch on, and they really are able to, absorb the market share. I mean, this could be literally the blockchain that everybody uses, and I don't know if they're prepared for that amount of exposure this fast. So, but again,
Yeah.
Kevin,
And
yeah,
I
Kevin,
I
go
hear
ahead.
I've heard claims like that before, AJ, like Phantom, Avalanche, Arbitrum. They're all going to be the chains that are going to just
Totally,
Solana. But this is the first one I'm hearing that's like interoperability. And to me, that fixes a real world problem. I don't have to go change the chains. I don't have to, if they have their own wallet, now I can just interact right there. I don't have to use an outside party like ChangeNow.io to bridge my tokens. Like this is why I invited you on the channel, is because I think there is some real tech here. Now it's just a matter of, okay, they've got the tech. Now, do they have the business kahanas to basically execute, get this broadly known, get engineers to want to build dApps on it, and then market it to all the crypto influencers you can? Because now my money, as I'm basically a part owner of this when I deposit,
for
my
sure,
seed round money here. Now I get to be part of the growth story over the next 15, 20 months and beyond, obviously. So that's awesome to know. We're getting in the absolute cheapest option and availability. I don't have to KYC myself. That just means you can stay anonymous. And you said if you put in $1,000 or more, you get access to this NFT, which has these benefits. So might as well take advantage of it.
for sure.
But if you don't want the NFT and you just feel like, yeah, I'll throw a little bit of risk capital, you want to go in $100. Imagine putting $100 in Ethereum early days. I mean, I'm not saying this is going to be Ethereum. I'm just saying, like, can you
Totally.
2x? I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, 10 cents is going to launch at 50 cents. Does it maintain that price? Does it run from there? None of us know. They've tried to create some anti-dumping mechanisms by only distributing coin holders 1/15th. So, and by the way, remember, if I'm only getting 1/15th, do I really want to dump? No, because that screws me for month 2, 3, 4, 5. So you might have some natural momentum. Plus, it's a real company. They're going to release new update videos. They're going to say, hey, we've got this announcement. So it's just a story. You're investing in the story of this company. I hope they get some real names on their platform. Like, get an interview with Charles Hoskins, and or get an interview with someone at the blockchain conference. Like that's the stuff I want to see, is so that people buy into this as being an actual legit. I'm not saying it isn't legit. I just saying like I
Yeah,
would
totally. I
love
get
to
it.
see that grow, you know?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, Jonathan. And again, I think they're more than prepared for that. They're just trying to get through the seed round now, through these very tight knit communities that we're all a part of. DeFi users that are actually using crypto,
Yeah.
that aren't just buying it to speculate. That's what they want. And so once we're out of this round, again, it ends the end of this the end of this month. March 31st is the last day of the pre-sale. And then that will be it. Even if they don't meet their goal, they have about 3 or 4 VCs of their own that have committed to buying the rest of the pre-sale.
Yeah.
So the money is not the issue; it's the getting it in as many people's hands as possible. But then after that, then we really hear 5 months of promotion up until launch. So, and one more thing too, just to put some numbers on this, to your point of not dumping L1X, you will be able to actually provide liquidity on L1X through your vested tokens once they become unlocked. You'll be able to provide liquidity through our exchange, and then we will be actually rewarding users a percentage of the transaction fees of that exchange just for providing liquidity. So again, we're making it more lucrative to actually hold your L1X than to sell it. And just to give some numbers, PancakeSwap does $400,000 a day in fees, and Uniswap does $4 million a day in fees. So even if we can get a
Wow.
small market share of that, we will be providing that real revenue. Again, the fees will be in L1X, so you get more L1X
Mhm.
for providing liquidity
Yeah.
from
It's
that
like
revenue.
it's like what Forex design in a smaller ecosystem in the animal farm is. If you own the pigs, you are
For
part of the
sure.
governance team and you'll own some of the that. But think about how much fees are actually happening on the animal farm. That's like minimal. This is going to be on an actual layer one. And so that's a great idea. Although for me, I don't mind waiting a couple years. Like I'm investing in a real company. I invested $50,000 into a company called Roots Food Group. They're based out of Dallas. I haven't made a dollar back. It's been almost a year, but I never invested to make a dollar back in a year. It's like buying a house, waiting a couple weeks, and then going to your real estate agent and being like, well, how much is my house worth now? Because this is why I
Yeah.
bought it. Like, has it increased in value? No, that's not the way these type of investments work. These are not quick ROI DApps, guys. So this is going to be a part of my portfolio. I don't know how much I'm going to put in. I'll probably put in at least $1,000 because why not take advantage of the NFT? That's going to be something that I need to figure out. But the cheapest I'll be able to get in though is right now. So that's what's in my mind, is like, how much do I put in this thing as part of my risk capital portfolio in the crypto world here? So
Totally. Totally, brother. And again, this is a really incredible deal. Like I said, I can count on one hand the amount of layer one chains I've been able to
yeah,
participate in,
yeah,
and I was a major sacrificer for Pulse.
right.
And over
Me too. Me too.
over 6 figures. And
Wow.
so yeah, and they haven't L1X is years ahead of the development
Wow.
than Pulse. So I really think that this will
Why
happen,
doesn't Richard
on the
Hart,
timeline.
man? Like, I wish they could bridge a meeting with Richard Hart and just say, like, rename it Pulse Chain, and like,
Yeah, well,
mm,
that might be that we'll work on that, Jonathan, for sure, man. But no, I'm with
set
you,
up
and
that
I
meeting
think
for them.
yeah, all right, yeah, totally. And really, again, Pulse Chain has the community, which again, I think that's what will make Pulse Chain successful, even though it's just a faster version of ETH. Um, but again, L1X is on a whole nother level in terms of tech. And they're big claims, I know we've made comparisons to ETH a lot here, and that might take a few years to get to that level in terms of adoption and usability.
Oh, but it
But
just takes
yeah,
one big company or one DApp to adopt this,
yes,
and then
bro,
it starts the snowball effect. That's what
yeah,
that's what I'm risking my money hoping for, and that's what you're risking it for. So you
totally,
you did multiple six figures in Pulse Chain. Are you going big in this one, or are you kind of more
absolutely.
conservative?
Yeah, no, I am. I have definitely committed a large portion of my personal funds to L1X. The EMP Treasury has also invested into L1X. So again, nothing that would destroy EMP
Yeah.
if L1X didn't work out. And same for me. I mean, I'm not gonna invest my life savings into it, but I know what's coming and I know the potential that this has. And for me, it's a no brainer for sure.
There's a lot of like Truth Seekers is a security audit company. They have raised money. They're putting that money to work. They might be a team that would invest in something like this too, because the people that
Yeah,
own the Truth token, they're not trying to make quick buck. They're investing in a real company as well. So, you could raise capital through these projects, through these companies as well. But yeah, okay. So they're 6.5 million out of their 10 million raised. And then this thing closes the end of the month. So I'm going to put in my description 2 website addresses. One is going to be their actual website, L1X website, and then the second is going to be your guys's pre-sale website, so people
perfect.
can throw their risk capital in there if they want. So I'll probably do that right now. Is there anything else, AJ?
No, man, that was it. I think again, it's an amazing opportunity. You know,
Yeah, it's
we
neat.
have a we have an awesome relationship with you and your whole fun farm army. And so yeah, man, I was happy to come on. And again, please, everything I said today, please do your own due diligence and research as well. But their Discord is amazing. They're super helpful over there, and they'll answer any questions you might have. The tokenomics are stellar. Again, the vesting is huge for the pre-salers, but the team, they have a 30-year vesting schedule. So again, there's going to be a lot
That's
of,
awesome.
not a
That
lot
means
of
they're not
tokens.
running off with the money.
Exactly, brother. Not a lot of tokens on launch, and I've never seen an economic structure like this. Prism Group killed it for them. I love the tokenomics of what they have, and their fully diluted market cap on launch is only going to be about $50 million, which for a layer one is insanely low. I mean, Ethereum is multiple billions of market cap.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be really interesting.
Okay. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, watching this whole AMA. This is what investors do. We learn, we grow, and we gain knowledge so that it drives the investment decisions we make. So this is totally different than your regular DeFi project. This is a real company fixing a real world problem, and they have a real world technology, especially that interoperability function and feature on their blockchain. So thanks, AJ, for bringing this opportunity. That's it. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
All right, thanks everyone. Bye bye.